Kanye West has, he dropped an atomic bomb. I'm going to let a few hundred of y'all come in, fam, before I go in. Yeah. Um, this is called a special edition. Yeah, this is going to be a special edition. Let y'all come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Yeah. All right, fam, I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe on YouTube, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Sean. What's up, Sean? Las Vegas in the house. Willie F. What up? What's up, Big Critter? North Carolina. Celebrities, what is that, scandalist? Celebrity scandalist. That's about where we are right now, scandalist. Yeah. All right, fam, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Kanye West dropped a bomb today, revealing that he sucked his cousin off. I don't know another way to say it, fam, but just tell you, that's about the least vulgar way that I can say it. Dude hopped on Twitter and said he sucked off his cousin, a boy, when he was 6 years old. Specifically, these are the words that he used. And fam, I think everybody needs to pay attention to this story, because it happens way more often than any of you can imagine. What the hell wrong with this damn thing? This is what Ye said on Twitter. He said, "This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but my magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's D-I-C-K till I was 14. Okay, fam. Yeah, this would explain a lot, right? Kanye's childhood trauma, it might explain a lot. But I mean, we're talking about a lot of wild behavior, right? So it explains a lot, but it doesn't excuse his behavior. Let's get that straight, family. Let's make that loud and clear, because there are literally billions of people. There have been billions of people who have had childhood trauma, who didn't go around disrespecting people, trying to make people look bad, throwing their own people under the bus, trying to humiliate their own people, disrespecting their community. There has literally been billions of people who have faced trauma and haven't done all of that. So we got to be careful not to excuse that type of behavior, because there are others out there who can't wait for their chance to act out so that they can say, yeah, it was my childhood trauma. That's why I'm acting like this. That's why I act like this. Nah, man. Nah, he don't get a pass. Nobody gets a pass. A lot of people keep saying, well, his mama died, he ain't been the same. Well, guess what? I ain't been the same since my mama died. But I ain't never threw my community under the bus. I don't go around telling my best friends, or not even best friends, I don't go around telling my friends business. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever we've discussed in private has remained in private. So we can't use that as an excuse. As somebody just said, who was that, King James, just said, hey man, a man is 47 years old. You got to stop treating him like a man when it's convenient, when he's making manly moves and making big money and these big decisions and stuff. Okay, he's a man. But when he says something that's really really wild or weird, and all of a sudden you want to hold his hands and, you want to make excuses. We can't make excuses for him. When Kanye uses his past as a shield to justify harming others, he's not healing. He's hiding. When Kanye uses his past to justify hurting others, he's not healing. He's hiding. So, yeah, it's on his official Twitter account. It hasn't been hacked. It's been up there for like 6 or 7 hours. So if it was a hack, it would have been down by now. But it wouldn't have been a hack anyway. Somebody would have just said that to try to deflect, or try to limit the damage. But no, it's his. He wrote it. And he's not trying to hide from it. Other people are trying to give him a way out. But no, he wrote it. He wrote it. It comes from his official Twitter account. He wrote it. Just like he wrote all those other inflammatory things over the last several weeks. He wrote it. Yeah, we got to stop trying to give people passes, man, and keep that same energy. He absolutely needs some help. But he don't get to get a pass. I mean, there are consequences for what you say. At some point, the boy who's hurt becomes the man who is responsible for saying things that hurt others. At some point, the boy who was hurt becomes the man who is responsible for saying things that hurts others. Trauma is not a hall pass to trample over the rights of others. It's not a hall pass to trample over people, period. And it's not a hall pass to escape consequences. There will be consequences for his actions. So I know some people out there saying, damn, he said that. He keep on going. He just going and going and going. He just non-stop. He won't stop. He just, damn, it gets wilder and wilder, weirder and weirder, like crazier and crazier, more disrespectful. And this ain't just for Kanye. This for all of those out there with those loose lips and that reckless mouth. There are going to be consequences. I get it. Some people get emboldened. The more that they do it, the more emboldened they become, because they start thinking like, damn, ain't nothing going to happen. Ain't nothing happened yet, so ain't nothing going to happen. And then, boom, something happens. Yeah, fam. At some point, it happens. Something happens. So there will be consequences. You're not going to be able to just keep on disrespecting everybody. Not even the same person. You're not going to be able to just keep on doing it and there'll be no consequences. This internet has emboldened a whole lot of people who would otherwise never fix their mouth to put their mouth on certain people's names. They wouldn't do it. But because, hey man, you can get on the internet and be all 30,000 feet in the air, just talking reckless. You can be way off in Buffalo, New York, somewhere in a basement, talking fly, talking slick. You think that ain't nothing gonna happen. And then boom, something happens. It's the same thing like with selling dope or robbing or whatever, right? The first time you do it and you get away with it, oh, you're gonna do it again. I'll bet you at least 99.9% of the people who's ever sold dope or robbed somebody did it at least twice. And they kept on doing it until they got caught in some type of way. So either they stopped doing it when they got caught and went to jail, or they got downed. But sooner or later, it's going to go boom. So yeah, this explains a lot. And I said this before. Just by his behavior, I knew. I said this before based on the type of, some of the people that he hang around. All that emotional energy, man, that ain't just the spectrum, man. That's like women. That's on the women, the female spectrum. Very emotional. Telling another man that you want to run a train on your baby mama with him? That's beyond disrespectful. You can't tell me you love your kids and disrespect their mother like that. No matter what you might think of their mother, you elevated her to a position to where she's supposed to have a certain amount of grace from your wrath. Now these kids got to hear, first they hear their daddy talk about running a train on their mama. Now they got to hear about their daddy sucking his cousins. This is really nothing. This is nothing to really joke about. You know, it's nothing funny about this at all. But that don't mean we give him a pass. He don't get a pass. He do need help. His trauma should be addressed also. His trauma needs to be addressed. And he hasn't addressed that yet. So he absolutely need to have his trauma addressed. But in the meantime, it's quite possible for us to do two things. Be empathetic of his trauma, because all of us have our own trauma. But also hold him accountable for his actions. Because he is a grown man in his 40s. Damn near 50 years old. He got to be held accountable for his actions. I'm going to say it again, fam. When it comes to the damage that he caused by disrespecting others and throwing his own people under the bus, so a lot of people say, well, you know, he's just speaking his truth and, you know, he's just trying to get by. That's what he has to do to cope. He got to get it out. Not at the expense of hurting other people, innocent people. Not at the expense of hurting other people. So, so that's not healing, fam. That's not healing. That's hiding. That's not healing. That's hiding. And some of y'all out there, y'all kind of gullible. Y'all gonna fall for it. Just like y'all done fell for every other thing that he's done. At this point, I don't even know if Kanye is looking for sympathy. I think he might be looking for understanding. I don't think he's looking for your sympathy. I don't think he wants your sympathy. I don't think he wants your excuses. I think he wants your understanding. So you do him injustice, even the ones out there that's been making excuses for him and stuff. You do him an injustice when you try to make excuses for him. Because he's telling you loud and clear, I don't give a damn what they think about me. I'm going to say what I want to say, and ain't nobody going to stop me from saying what I want to say. He's not looking for your sympathy. I think he's looking for your understanding. But while he's searching for that understanding, he cannot hide behind his trauma. Because if that was the case, every single one of us can do the same thing and expect a pass. You don't get to go get online and drag people and throw people personal business into the streets, especially people who you have considered a friend. You don't get to do that. You don't get to talk about people, talk down on people's children and disrespect people's children and get a pass just because you experienced some trauma. You don't get to do that. None of us get to do that. You can do it, but there will be consequences. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even in a year. But there will be consequences. And that ain't just for Kanye. That's for everybody out there who think that they can get on that internet and say whatever the hell they want to say about anybody. Justice will catch up with you. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.